get back to it. My mom called me. General boycott of British goods was this response. So when I say plan of action during FCC, First Continental Congress, you say general boycott of British goods. Plan of action. I heard nothing. Somebody's failing. Okay, my phone's gonna die. British response! When I say British response, you say Britain dismissed petition declared Massachusetts a rebellion state. British response! Britain dismissed petition declared Massachusetts a rebellion state. Thank you.
Yeah.
Between Congresses. Intermission. Okay, essentially think of 1775 as a little bit of an intermission. Is it okay if Ian comes over?
Yeah, I don't care.
Sounds like you care. Okay, fine.
No, I'm watching an old lady. She's talking about Mary.
Alright, guys. Battles of Lexington and Concord, July, olive branch petition colonists hope to have peace and grievances addressed. This is what happened. They're basically like, hey. Oh wait, I'm that guy. I said this. I forgot. I said, please.
I can't wait till we get to the XYZ affair.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that. Please take us back. Can we please go back to the days of salutary neglect? Are you taking a picture of me? I do not like taxes. Okay. King George III. Let me think about this. No! Throughout 1775 and the early part of 1776, most colonists did not want independence. Until T-Paine! Thomas Paine! Philosopher from England and American colonies. I personally knew him. He was a great guy. In 1774, he moved from England to the American colonies. Crazy time to be there. Think about this. He was during the First Continental Congress when they were having a whole conversation about, oh my gosh, please take us back. I really don't like taxes, but I don't want independence. Ideas reflected Enlightenment. He published Common Sense to urge American colonies to break away from Britain and King George III. He had just gotten there. Bruh. Written to appeal to the common people and proportionally to the population at the time, it is the best-selling book in American history. Crazy. And because of that, we are America. We are Americans because of Common Sense. Revolutionary. British view of the Patriots. People thought we were thugs. I can tell you I was not a thug. Or a criminal. But that's what they thought.
Wait, are you a colonist?
Heck yeah.
Okay, good. Just wanted to
I thought the cowboy hat was like, I'm also in the South.
You're Georgia?
I don't like Georgia. I like the Carolina areas. They kind of were the first to introduce slavery.
Okay.
Revolutionary War. Advantages and disadvantages for British. British had a strong navy, stable revenue, better equipped and experienced, underestimated colonists though, and home is far away. So now we're moving into the Revolutionary War. Just so you know. This was not a good time. Advantage and disadvantages for the colonists. We had our home territory. We were strong, had a strong spirit. But if we lose everything. We don't get independence. We don't get salutary neglect. We don't get anything. We get taxed more. No battle etiquette, so we used that against our for the better. We didn't start lining up and shooting people. We hid in the forest, okay? Yeehaw. We used our horses. Weaker military, fighting defensive though, strong leadership, and all we had to do was outlast the British. The first battle was in 1771. Yeehaw. It showed that the Americans had a chance and convinced France to openly support the Americans. Remember when this happened? What? They were mad about the fur trade with British. Okay, but if you think about it, these are the colonists. What are you watching?
It's the plankton audio.
British and France territory, and then you have the French. So really, the French were like, I'm kind of mad at Britain right now, but these colonies aren't too bad. They aren't too bad.
Me on the science ACT.
You just gotta show the camera.
Sit in frame. I hope y'all can read that.
So yeah, they were like, I think I'm gonna openly support this bad boy. Fast forward to 1781.
What happened in 1781?
Yorktown.
Ooh.
Yorktown. Cowboys won. (1783) was the Treaty of Paris. That did not have to do with the French and Indian War.
No. No. Oh no. Yes, because the French and Indian War ended with the Treaty.
Hey Alexa, how did the French and Indian War end?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the French and Indian War ended with the signing of the Treaty of Paris in February 1763.
Yeah.
The British received
Yeah.
orders from France and Florida and Spain that permitted France to keep its West Indian sugar islands and gave Louisiana to Spain.
Why are my notes wrong? How did this end then? Thank you.
How did what end? Yorktown?
Yeah, and
That's
was it just Yorktown?
That's a battle in the Revolutionary
Yeah.
War. That's one of the battles.
Yeah.
In the Revolutionary War. So when the Revolutionary War ended,
It was just the last battle. There wasn't a treaty. They just they won. British surrendered? Yes.
yeah. British surrendered because they were fighting a war overseas in Europe.
Wait, wait. They don't love you like I do. How revolutionary was the Revolutionary War? Changes. Text with representation. Revolutionary ideals, liberty and equality, self-government, which, by the way, never been done before the Great American Experiment. Most northern states gradually ended slavery. Wow. So we like up here. Well, at least I'm a southerner, so I said, boo, we need those slaves. Continuity. People in charge were still wealthy white men. No, the feminist in me rages.
What are you on?
I'm trying to make pop culture references so it's more fun. Slavery's still common. Yeah, heck yeah it was, because I needed those slaves. Articles of Confederation. From 1781 to 1787. Separation of power. This is just definitions, so you just don't worry about it. Allocation of distinct powers, responsibilities to separate branches of the national government to prevent the accumulation of power. So legislative is Congress, executive is president. Hey, let me know if my toilet's working.
Yeah, I was about to say, do I need to use the one downstairs?
I mean, or the one like in the guest bedroom. My toilet doesn't work right now.
I might just go to that one.
Judicial courts. So there's separation of powers. Nobody can be corrupt. Tyranny was scary to them. Checks and balances. Powers granted to each branch that can counter the political abuses of the others. Congress can impeach. President can veto. Congress can override with 2/3 majority. President can pardon someone. Judicial can strike down unconstitutional laws. President appoints federal judges. Remember that. I'm just kidding. You don't have to. What's federalism? Dividing power between the national government and the states, some overlapping but also have some distinct spheres of authority. Federal government is supreme in some areas. That one's confusing. Farmers of the Constitution? No. Framers of the Constitution! Think again. Wealthy, highly educated, relatively young, significant political experience at the national level, steeped in political theory and history. Constitutional Convention. Compromise on representation. Virginia Plan. I wanted representation based on population. A bicameral legislature, which means 2 branches. But New Jersey said fixed representation. New Jersey up here, northern, equal for every state, unicameral legislature, which means 1 house. The Great Compromise was like, they were like, okay, bicameral, that's a good idea. House of Representatives and then a Senate. Lower house, 2 years per term, elected by the people within each state. But the upper house, which is the Senate, was 2 per state. And that was the Great Compromise. What is the Electoral College? What means that the number of House plus number of senators means that's the number of electors that each state has. And that helps with voting. So it was, every state gets 2. And then on top of that, every state also gets to vote on their representatives. They get 2 people from the Senate. 3/5 compromise. I said I wanted slaves to count as full people because it increases my power as a slave owner. However, people in the North said that should not count at all because they cannot vote.
Are you aware of the fact your guest bathroom faucet is like disconnected from the basin of your sink?
Oh, I've got to look at that. I'm always fixing things around this freaking house.
I like turned on the water and the faucet flipped where I was like,
Nobody's doing anything that's actually, how did that happen? Because the last time I used it, it was not like that. Compromise. Every slave is 3/5 of a person. Does that make sense? No, but I'm happy because I'm a slave owner. Ratification. Minimum for ratification in the United States, just so you know. Bill of Rights. It was the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, guarantees protection for innovation. Basically, I don't like tyranny because I don't. That's what we just fought against. The powers of George Washington. This is really long. I've been yapping for a long time. And there's 2 parts. One part is 7 minutes because my mom called me. Make treaties with approval of 2/3 of the present senates. Granting commissions, head of military, pardon power, appoint ambassadors, federal judges, and cabinet secretaries. We already talked about this, so I don't feel the need to. President for presidency. Could serve more than 1 term, but max 2 terms for 4 years. Unify diversity, and stay out of foreign affairs. What happened in 1796? An election! Adams narrowly wins with support from New England. as runner-up, Jefferson becomes vice president. So all the runner-ups, until a certain point, I can't remember when, the runner-ups were the vice president, which was interesting because it created an interesting dynamic. This was later fixed by 12th Amendment in 1804. 1804, 1809. Yeah, so just 4 years after this period ended. So just 8 years after the election. Go ahead.